All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. Uh, Country superstar and current member of the Eagles, Vince Gill, has canceled some of his upcoming shows after his wife, Amy Grant, was hospitalized after sustaining injuries in an accident on Wednesday. I read the headline. I'm like, oh crap, here we go again. I wonder if she went to Walgreens, but that has nothing to do with this, thankfully. Gill's wife of 22 years, Amy Grant, and of course, there's a backstory behind that. Amy Grant, professing Christian at the time, was a very high profile changeover from her old husband to her new husband. And it is what it is. 22 years. So I'll give them credit. At least, they found the right combination. Sometimes in life you get married and it's just the wrong combination. So I empathize with people who find somebody, and I'm not encouraging people to run around and do this sort of thing, but it was pretty high profile at the time. And obviously, because Amy Grant professes to be a Christian, and I have a few comments about that as well. She came under a lot more scrutiny because of how it all went down, at least in certain circles. The regular media was just like, yeah, okay. She got a divorce and she's getting married to Vince Gill. Anyway, she was wearing a helmet while riding her bike, right? But she suffered injuries, including cuts, lacerations, and bruises, according to her management team. So it was a biking accident. By the way, Amy Grant is now 61 years old, just crazy. But again, a pioneer in the Christian music business. Well, she was recording music, I believe, as far back as the late 1970s, and really out there on her own with just a few other somewhat high-profile names that were devoted to trying to get that genre off the ground. You got to give her credit. Of course, she then had like huge crossover success with the album Heart in Motion, or Hearts in Motion. I think it's just Heart in Motion. 1990. Nobody saw that one coming. I was in the business at the time, and that was just like, wow. A lot of people, by the way, didn't know she was a Christian, and that album didn't really out her as a Christian either. She completely just stopped talking about her faith. In fact, these days, both herself and Vince Gill are asked about their faith, and sometimes they're given questions. They're given questions that are fairly easy to answer as a Christian. Certain things that Christians agree with or disagree with, and Vince Gill and Amy Grant especially seem to really struggle now with providing a biblical answer to those questions. I'm just putting it out there because it seems as though everything continues to get watered down, and because they don't want to offend certain groups who probably aren't really interested in what they're doing artistically. That goes for Vince Gill too. Of course, Vince Gill being in the Eagles, that pretty much pulls him into a political area that maybe he wasn't comfortable in before. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? I really don't know too much about his politics, but I'm sure some of you who've followed either Vince Gill or Amy Grant probably know what they're all about when it comes to politics. But when it comes to their faith, it seems as though, like Lauren Daigle, who is this huge mega Christian singer, she can't answer simple questions about her faith properly. She just can't answer them. She says things like, I don't know. It's like above my pay grade kind of stuff. It's like, no, well, there's this book that you can go and read, this holy book that's been around for quite a long time. You can kind of sift through and, get answers to these really difficult questions. What I would do is, hey, I can't answer this for you, but let me go and check out what the Bible says, and then I'll get back to you. And my guess is, if you're out there singing these songs, right, about Jesus and about faith and so forth, you might want to know a little bit about, the person you're singing about. You might want to know what that doctrine is that is related to the question ahead of time. Just, it might be helpful. Anyway, Amy Grant's team shared an update about her condition Thursday afternoon, saying that she will remain hospitalized until later this week. So this isn't really a big deal. Doesn't appear to be a big deal. I mean, you got President of the United States falling off his bike, and I think that was probably a bigger deal, even though I don't think he got injured, but you wouldn't know, because before the bike ride, he seemed to have cognitive problems. And after the bike ride, he continued to have cognitive issues, and they seem to be getting worse. So maybe the bike incident exacerbated things. Anyway, it says here, thank you to all those offering prayers and well wishes for Amy after her bike crash yesterday. She is in the hospital receiving treatment, but is in stable condition. She must have had quite a tumble there. She's expected to go home later this week, where she can continue to heal. Your kind thoughts and heartfelt prayers are felt and received. Amy was wearing her helmet, and we would remind you to do the same. Okay, a little virtue signaling at the end. Wear your helmet if you're on a bike, because, stuff like this can happen. It's like I think wearing your seatbelt and wearing your helmet in some cases are laws in certain states. So this may have helped save Amy from a worse fate. We don't know. But make sure you wear your helmet. That's the message here. And I don't know, being in a bike accident, and she was riding near or along a golf course. I don't know how many obstacles there are. I guess it just seems a little extreme. Something must have happened out there that was a little beyond just the normal thing. And no, I'm not going to bring in any of my kooky conspiracy theories, like it was the result of what she did. There's no evidence of that, although you can make a case for anything these days. You really can. Some of it, because of what the media has been doing, covering things up and not allowing information to go out there, it really is a it almost instigates, it almost begs for crazy speculation from people like me. But again, not going to go there on this. Looks like she had a bike accident. We wish her well, and hopefully Vince Gill can get back out there and do what he does. Apparently, he was supposed to do a couple of gigs, one at Capital One Hall. I'm not sure where that is, but the show has been canceled. It was scheduled for July 29th and July 30th. They say unforeseen family emergency. Well, it was an unforeseen, but we know what it is. So why the mystery language? This keeps happening all over the place. Like, they don't want you to know what happened to Amy Grant, and everybody, I think, is okay with the fact she had an accident. This isn't so scandalous that's going to ruin Vince Gill's reputation or his career. In any event, that's the story, and we wish her well and speedy recovery, and hopefully Vince will be back out there doing his thing, and also out there with the Eagles as Don Felder's replacement. Yeah, actually, that's what, Stuart Smith. But it took two guys for the most part to replace. Well, no, because he's replacing Glenn Frey, so I don't know. I mean, nobody sounds like Glenn in this band unless they bring Deacon back. So it's another video. I'll do that later. All right. Thanks for watching. And of course, we'll see you soon.